All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Taylor Spaziani. I'm here with the Sexual Health Alliance, and today I'm here with Dana. Thank you, Dana, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, to get started, do you want to tell me a little bit about yourself and who you are and what you do?
I'm Dana, boy Dana is what I go by. I'm a nerd, so I'm a IT consultant for my day job. That's what pays the bills and things like that. I'm 45 years old. I've been in the kink scene, leather scene, fet scene for about 25 of those years. 10 years spent pre-trans, 15 years spent post-trans. So I've kind of been able to hang out in the community and in different ways and experience it in different ways um, and stuff like that. So let me turn this off. And I like Lego. I like Lego, and yoga. So those are my two main things I like that keeps me happy. Besides just being a usual nerd and reading and stuff like that. So
That's awesome. I love that. So, to get to know you a little bit better, do you want to tell us maybe what the top 3 items on your bucket list are?
they are. I would love to travel to Africa, uh, just because I just want to see because it's a beautiful country. Not just go to South Africa, but just go to other parts of it that might not be the most touristy spots. But I still would like to take a look at the continent as much as I can. And then another bucket list is to um, I would like to experience a hook suspension. I've done several hook pulls and things like that to, and I like bigger things like that to kind of mark different transitions in my life. And I'm going through one right now. So I kind of like to, you know, it's like me starting a blank page. And so, but I kind of use my masochism to do that. So I like to experience that. And lastly, I would love to see the glaciers. I don't care where it is. I don't care if it's in Alaska, Greenland, Iceland. I would love to see them before they disappear, probably in our lifetimes. And so those are top 3 things on my list.
Yeah,
Um,
that's beautiful. Thank you. I'd love to see the glaciers myself. It's so important, I think.
yeah.
One of my favorite questions I like to ask is, who's your gender or sexuality role model?
I have a few of them, and starting at different probably points in my transition. Before I started transitioning, I really identified as a butch lesbian and really as a stone butch for parts of that. So Leslie Feinberg comes to mind with that. Also, just seeing other trans folk who are more aligned with my part of the spectrum out in public, just being who they are. And I think Spencer, who I think you interviewed earlier, is one of them. Bear Bergman, Mike Hernandez are just guys who've been in the community for years and who I've been able to see live their truth. And I was like, whoa, maybe I can do something like that for myself. And so it was a way to help me find an answer to all my questions, like what can I do? I'm not feeling right in my body. Oh, I got options. I got so many options, So, and Dr. Rivera is another person, leads enough. So you have different people who identify in different ways and express themselves differently. So it taught me that it's not just black and white. There's a whole bunch of different spectrum there. So I think those people and others really help open my eyes to different spectrum instead of seeing just the 2 boxes, that you see. So.
Absolutely. No, those are highly admirable people that you all listed off there. I agree. Thank you for sharing. In your everyday life, what are some of the most important values that you live by?
I'm like, for me, I think it's like, just live your true self and just live your best life. And, and I think what we're all experiencing now is that a lot of us have taken our lives for granted. It's like, I'm not 65 years old, but you're seeing people die who are my age or who may be your age or younger. And I'm like, and also I've experienced a lot of loss in my life, my first wife, my sister. So just live what you got. If your best life is last 5 minutes or whatever, just live it. And the drama can go for another day or forget about it altogether. But I'm all about living my best life and just and not sound corny, but really taking the time to smell the flowers. You know, I've got my garden going, and we're working from home here in the house. It gives me time to get out there and just get outside the house and from all these 3 laptops I have going on. So I think that's what I have right now. My one value is like live your best life. So that's what I got for right now.
I love that. I admire authenticity so much, and I can really feel that from you. Appreciate that about you. So, as a trans individual, what are some ways that people might have tried to be an ally to you and might have missed the mark?
I think when people out you and don't know that it's not the good thing to do, there's like, oh, I know this other trans guy. You know Dana? And I'm like, let me, we can have a conversation or something like that. Or for a lot of times it's been the person that I've been with, and you might have identified the straight couple. So I think to make them feel comfortable, they outed me. So it's like, oh well, he's trans, and I'm like,
Mhm.
so I think these are, those are a couple of ways that I think people kind of miss the mark. They just don't know. And I think if they take the time to listen to people instead of like going off on their own and not really knowing the full story or the full picture
Mhm.
about what they're trying to represent, just just shut up and listen. Is just one of them, but I think that's it. It's just ask questions, check with the people that you're going to out with if that's cool with them. Or it's like, hey, I got somebody you could talk to. Not even saying that the person's trans or not, or ask the person, like, I know this person, they really need to talk to another trans person. Is it okay that I pass on their information to you? That's probably the best way to do it. So that way nobody's getting outed, and then we can, then you say, let me get you guys together because I'm giving you the
Right.
consent to out me, to this other person. So just things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes so much sense. Education, asking for consent, very
Hmm.
important things.
Hmm.
So on the contrary, what do you think, or can you remember a time that somebody provided you an allyship that you might not have expected?
Yeah, I think a lot of spaces where, especially traditionally male spaces that did not allow trans spectrum people before,
Mhm.
that you see guys like, hey, I've got this play party, you want to come? So it's like this guy who I'd never thought in a million lifetimes that one, he was trans aware, and two, like this guy's been in the scene for like ever. But for me, I should not have judged him because it's been a scene forever. Because I've had bad experiences with guys who are like, well, you're just a woman or something who's been in the scene for 20 plus years and not going to change your ways no matter what. But I was wrong because I judged them and I should not have. But it's also cool that you're still seeing people who are older and not part of the new generation, new wave of people who are a little more aware of trans folk that are inviting us to a party that we will be comfortable to, that because they have other people there. And also come to me if you have problems. If somebody gives you problems, come to me. I'm like, yes, sir, so just in those ways, because I like to go play, but I still like to go to places where I feel welcome, that I'm not going to be gawked at or I'm not going to have a good time.
Yeah.
So, and I did have a good time. And it was at MAL this past year. So I think the more spaces become open and welcoming, it'd be great. Great.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Dana. Appreciate it. In your opinion, then, what do you think are maybe 3 ways that somebody can be an ally to the trans community, non-binary people, gender diverse individuals of any kind?
I would say the first thing is listen. Two, maybe volunteer to go with me to maybe a event where you have more trans folk attending, so they get to see the different expressions we have. So you see the rainbow of trans folk, the different expressions. There was this really good conference. I'm not sure what no conference is happening right now, but it was Philly Trans Health. And I loved it because one, it was free, and then people just go in, and you had so much programming to meet so many people under the sun. And three, just what I used to do was hang out at the bar and come talk to me. We have some water, coffee, whatever. And if you have any kind of questions, just ask me. Because a lot of people are afraid to ask questions because they may think they're stupid or whatever.
Mhm.
For that moment in time, ask me. And that's what I did in the Atlanta community. I was in that community for 20 plus years. You have a lot of people who just don't know and they're afraid to ask somebody. So I'm like, just ask if you don't know.
Right.
Ask questions.
Absolutely. That's so important. So important.
Mhm.
Well, last but not least, I kind of wanted to just give you the opportunity to roll out the red carpet for
Yep.
you and tell the world what you're working on, what you're passionate about, all that
Mhm.
good stuff.
Right now, I really want to bring more awareness, excuse me, more awareness to chronic pain, specifically in the kink and leather scene. I don't think it gets talked about enough. A lot of us are aging, and so things start hurting, and things we could do 5 years ago, 20 years ago, we can't do anymore. And a lot of the times, our ego gets in the way, and we still continue to try to do those things instead of learning how to and being humble and to modify and things like that, especially as a submissive. You know, I lived most of my life in slave roles. And so your body changes. What I could do when I was 25, I can't do right now. And I take it to heart and it becomes depression sets in because you can't do anything and you're also still in pain. So what are some good things that we could talk about that, you know, maybe I could have some just different groups, different events or Zoom meetings that we could talk about how it's impacting you, and maybe I may know something that you don't know. But you know, I'm suffering from chronic back pain, and you know, I probably have to get like one of those spinal cord stimulators. And so, what
Mm.
is that going to mean now to my play? And maybe
Yeah.
I could talk to someone who has the same issue. So that's kind of like my burning passion right now. Is just you know more awareness, especially in the leather scene around chronic pain and how it impacts people, your whole family, and everything. So that's my hot topic right now.
For sure. No, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing. I have chronic back pain too, so I feel you and I hear you. We do need to talk about that more. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking with you, getting to know you just briefly here in these few minutes with you. It's awesome. And I honestly can't wait to get to know you more. So thanks, Dana.
All right.